because I've done so much directing in the past, I understand fully that having two cameras means that you can get two different shots at the same time, but more importantly, they're in equal continuity. And what for the average Joe, what continuity means is that if you have, say, a drink and a cigarette, and you do one take and then you stop and you do another one, the cigarette invariably goes down because it's not the same amount. But the liquid in the drink is not as much, and if you do it over and over and over, the times, the likeliness of repetition of it being exactly the same is not going to be achieved. And so that becomes distracting, as well as sound. So when you have two cameras shooting the exact same thing at the exact same time, as with multi-camera comedy shows, sitcoms, they're all capturing that image all at the same time. And so any overlap in the dialogue, as with any Robert Altman film or any modern Family or Curb Your Enthusiasm, all those shows do double coverage at the same time. And that gives a sense of freedom, liberty to the actors to sort of invent and not be shackled by the fact that they're going to have to exactly match their performance every single time. So if you have two cameras at the same time, it's much more freeing. If you have one camera, you're honor bound to do the exact same thing every time, and if you don't repeat it exactly, then you have a continuity problem. And then a lot of times actors in the past will say things like, "Why didn't you use this take?" And I'll say, "Well, you forgot to hold the drink up at that time," and you end up going with the less good performance because you have a blaring continuity error. Our goal is to suspend disbelief ultimately, and the only way to suspend disbelief is to make sure that the technical things that come up in television production don't distract the viewer from enjoying the story. And if the distraction, like a blaring continuity error or a terrible overlap that couldn't be dealt with only having one camera, then the viewer isn't going to enjoy it as much as they could. The movie MASH, Robert Altman's MASH, is a wonderful example of how overlapping dialogue and multiple cameras can give you this really sort of a verite, this is real life kind of feel. I'm a huge fan of Robert Altman, by the way. I over-answered the hell out of that question. I should have just said, two cameras gives you the freedom to do overlaps, and which is much more natural, which I'll do for you now.
And cut! Good!
Nice.